I have 3 big projects I have to work on.
First, I have
a
a writing project
statistics
due
dissection,
next weekend.
writing
I have to take
assignment,
measurements
math
for a calculus
test.
project that's due next week. And then finally I have to start reviewing for finals that are coming up.
Millennials experience more stress than any other generation. Yet, millennials are also the generation with the lowest ability to manage that stress. If that wasn't enough, this excessive amount of stress and anxiety that high schoolers experience is not taken seriously by many adults. A large portion of this excessive stress can be attributed to the unrealistic expectations placed upon students. We are often told to aim for perfection, whether that means achieving a 4.0 GPA, joining multiple sports, after-school clubs, or even part-time job. There simply isn't enough time in the day to fulfill all of these expectations, while also ensuring the student gets a minimum of 8 hours of sleep every night. In fact, almost 40% of parents believe that their high school-age student is experiencing large amounts of stress due to school. Take Jamie, for example. She's currently a senior at Sunset High School, taking many demanding courses. She knows how difficult it can be to balance her schoolwork.
I think that it is competitive. Just look at our senior class, there's 99 salutatorians. That just shows that people really care about their grades. Junior year, I would probably have 4 to 5 hours of homework each night. For the most part, I think a lot of it is busy work. I think it's just in the details, the little things. Definitely boosts my anxiety up. Sometimes I would worry about how much sleep I was getting or how well I was eating. So the basic things that we should be worried about.
Despite students' clear negative attitude towards stress, not everyone believes that stress is completely undesired. In fact, Mary Alvord, a clinical psychologist, believes that a little stress is a good thing, since it provides students with motivation to get things done. However, this reasoning does not stick in regards to homework. Many people believe that homework is not only helpful for students' learning, but necessary for education. Contrary to popular belief, it is not found to improve student performance. This unnecessary homework piles up over time and causes more anxiety in students. However, the worst part is that the anxiety caused by the excessive workload is a major cause of reduced productivity. This in turn creates a cyclical and never-ending cycle of large workloads, increased anxiety, and decreased productivity. The reason that this is such an important issue to tackle is due to the fact that high amounts of homework result in high anxiety levels, causing a reduction of work that students are able to complete at school. A large-scale study done by Carolyn Aldwin, a professor at Oregon State University, discovered that older people don't seem to sweat life's smaller irritants. If younger people had the same perspective on stress and anxiety would be at an all-time low. No longer would millennials be referred to as the anxious generation. Because of this, it's crucial that we emphasize the need for effective stress and anxiety management techniques. One proposed solution to the issue is implementing mindfulness techniques into the health and PE curriculum. Wilson High School in Portland, Oregon did just that. The school jump-started a mindfulness class that is meant to ease youth anxiety and depression. Psychologist and OHSU researcher Dr. Ann Wilson has been studying the results from Wilson High School's mindfulness class. She says that based on how kids were doing initially, they got different benefits from the mindfulness class. Teens who reported higher depression and anxiety to start with had more improvements in anxiety, while teens who were doing better to start with reported more increases in mindfulness and improvements in insomnia. Some teachers at Sunset High School have already begun to implement mindfulness techniques into their classrooms, one of which, Miss Ariano, is a health teacher. We decided to interview her to get more information.
We like to load a lot of things on teenagers, thinking they're young and they can handle it, and some really high stress stuff that affects your future. You guys are so young, you haven't had a lot of experience on how to reduce your stress. Also, your brains are so crazy right now. Your emotional center is super highly developed, and your hormones are going, and so you're getting a lot of stresses that even though a stressor is not causing it, your body is causing it. With everything going on with hormones and your brain development and everything, it's a good idea for you guys to practice these techniques regularly. Your mental health will go so far to your physical health and well-being. If you're not mentally sound, you're going to struggle to learn, and that's going to be a problem, and you're going to struggle to stay physically healthy. So I had kids that were like, yeah, I didn't fall asleep, that was stupid, which is fine, it's not for everyone. And then I also have students at the end of the year say, I do this all the time now. I do this regularly, and it's really helped me. It doesn't relieve the stressor itself, but it helps me manage the stress. I think that we could have a whole, mindfulness course. I think PE also, they should do more of that physical side of it, so they could do progressive relaxation, they could do the exercise with the endorphins, and then health could focus on the mental and emotional stress and well-being. I think they could marry each other pretty well.
Students, it's crucial to have an open mind regarding stress and anxiety management. While mindfulness might sound unusual to many of us, it's necessary that we accept these unique techniques in order to reduce our stress and anxiety. It's not only students who need to be open to these techniques, however. It's also important for teachers to take action. Teachers are the ones who are able to support their students by teaching management techniques to benefit students in the school environment and beyond. It's important for students to know of several ways to manage their stress and anxiety. If you are looking for someone to talk to about your stress and anxiety, make an appointment with your school counselor or visit OregonYouthLine.org.
Music.